Coming this Black Friday to Kindle and e-readers everywhere, from the author of the Simp Trilogy, Stop Simping, Why Men Don't Need Finance to Get Romance, Vanginas, They Look Like Men But They Act Like Ladies, and The Misadventures of Captain Saberhole comes Stop Simping in the Workplace. Learn what mistakes not to make in the workplace with women and protect your job in Stop Simping in the Workplace. Pre-order your copy on e-readers today. Donald Trump in his campaign said he was going to make America great again. However, I don't think most Americans understand what greatness is or understand what greatness requires. In order to be great at something, you have to be willing to make a sacrifice. And when it comes down to most Americans these days, they pretty much do not understand what sacrifice is. Most Americans these days come from a culture of entitlement. And they believe that somebody owes them something and that someone has to give them something. This is the America we live in today based on the culture of self-esteem. Under the culture of self-esteem, everybody is a winner and everybody is supposed to get the exact same thing. And in order to be great, there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. And most Americans just don't know how to lose. And if you don't know how to lose, you will never know how to be great. In order to be a great person, you have to understand what failure is. And today's people these days just don't understand what failure is due to the culture of self-esteem. The culture of self-esteem tells people that, again, everybody is a winner, everybody gets a reward for showing up and trying hard, and that there is no second place and there is no last place. However, without these measures, we can't have greatness. Because in order to be great, again, there has to be a winner and there has to be a loser. More importantly, a person has to understand why losing is important. Because losing is what allows people to build the character and the resolve to continue to persevere. If a person does not understand what perseverance and determination and hard work is, they're never going to become a winner and they're never going to become great. Greatness comes from a person who does not give up, a person who does not quit, a person who, even when they fail the first, second, third, or fourth time, continues to persevere and continues to push themselves forward. That's what greatness requires. Most Americans these days don't understand what that concept is because they've grown up in a culture of self-esteem, grown up in a culture of entitlement, and believe that somebody else has to make them great. And that's not the case at all. In order for a person to be great, they have to be willing to put in the work to be great of themselves. And in order to put in that work, you have to understand again what loss is. Because when you lose, then you understand what you have to do in order to win. And in order to win, you're going to have to make sacrifices. Most Americans these days don't want to make those type of sacrifices in order to become those type of winners and to be that kind of great, because that means you not having your evenings, not having your weekends, not having your nights. It means you're going to have to put in the work in order to be great. And this is something I know from personal experience, from being a kid in school trying to get my high school diploma, my college degree, and being a writer. And I learned really those hard lessons when I started self-publishing my own books. That's when I learned what greatness requires. Greatness requires, again, that hard work, that sacrifice, and the ability to lose. Because if you cannot lose, you will never appreciate winning. And in order to appreciate winning, you have to understand what losing requires. Losing means you are going to you're not the best right now, but you have to learn from those mistakes to become the best. And as you continue to learn, you become better. And this is something that has been taken out of our American schools and our American culture. People just do not understand how to build the character and the resolve to go out and be great. They've just been told that, that they don't have to achieve any sort of standard. And if you have a place where there's no standard, you're not going to have great people. And this is why your America today is not a great country, because people in America have no standards for anything. They have no bar to measure things by. They settle for less. And they're told not to push themselves not to take themselves to the next level, not to persevere in the face of failure, and never to go out and try again. This is the American culture we have permeating America today, and this is what's keeping Americans from being great. Because if we go to your college campuses today, again, we have most people who believe that they are entitled to a college education. They don't have to work hard for it. Someone will give it to them. Someone will give them a job. Someone will do something for them. They don't have to go out and do things for themselves. And you don't get great people that way. You get great people because they understand that things are earned and things are not given to you. You have to go out and fight for them. You have to go out and persevere for them. And you have to set goals for yourself that you want to accomplish in life. That's what great people do. They set those goals for themselves. These are personal accomplishments. These are things that mean something to them. These are things that they're passionate about. We don't see that in most Americans today. What we see in most Americans today is like what we saw at those protests after Trump won the election. We've got a group of people who believe that they are entitled to have their candidate Hillary Clinton win because they wanted it to happen, and now they're having temper tantrums and getting all upset because their candidate didn't win, and they feel they don't have to work for anything. They feel somebody's going to give them anything. I mean, I even watched a video where they said they were giving some of these college kids ponies and hugs because Hillary Clinton lost the election. And that again shows you how low American standards have become. People do not have the character or the resolve to understand that when your candidate loses, that means you have to suck it up and continue to go on with your life. This is the sad state of America, is under the culture of self-esteem. We have people who don't understand what the word no means. They don't understand what it means to fail. And they don't understand what you have to do in order to be great. They believe everybody has to give them something. And this is the worst part of American culture. And this is the part of the culture Americans just don't want to tackle. They talk about they want Donald Trump to make America great again. But again, the problem is we the people don't want to be great. And we don't want to put in the work to make our country great. We don't want to establish standards for anything. We don't want to have a moral position on anything. But we want a great country. And again, in order to get a great country, you have to have hard work. You have to have people who understand what hard work is. You have to have people who understand what discipline is. You have to have people that understand what character is. And you have to have people understand what it means to lose these rights that they have under the Constitution. That's what makes the country great, because people understand that without the rights under the Constitution, they won't have a great country. And if you lose those rights, you're going to lose something great. In order to make America great again, Americans have to understand what makes America great. They have to value what's great about America, and they have to appreciate that. And I don't see that from today's Americans, who are pretty much spoiled, entitled, and come from a culture of narcissism and self-esteem that makes them believe that the world revolves around them, and that in order for the country to be great, it has to cater to whatever they want. Before this, you had many people who thought in order to make the country great, they had to make hard work and sacrifices, and they had to contribute to the country. These days, people think that the country serves them and is supposed to do everything for them, and they have a sense of entitlement that is really sad. And this is why your America won't be great, because again, most of your Americans come from that culture of self-esteem and self-entitlement, and believe that the country serves them and that they don't serve the country. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe.